Hey everyone, this is Godenick with Godenick Astrology, and I'm here to give you the astrology for the weeks of February 7th through the 20th, 2022. Before I get started, I just wanted to make an announcement. I am offering 14% off all readings for the entire month of February in celebration of Valentine's Day. So if you or a loved one are interested in a reading and wanted one but just maybe couldn't afford it, or you want to splurge this month or something like that, I'm offering this discount all month, even if the appointment is next month or another time in the year. So you can head over to my website, lauragodenick.com, and view my offerings there under the Book a Reading tab. So we start off this week. It's a bit of a quieter week, the first week of this 2-week time period. And, we're starting off with Mercury and Venus both being direct, which is really good news. We're kind of done with this like reviewing period and with the mishaps and things going wrong, perhaps, or technology mess ups and getting lost and miscommunications, etc. We're kind of getting to a point where we are coming into the clear. So that feels really, really good. And this week we start off, the first aspect is on Tuesday the 8th. Mars in Capricorn is making a trine to Uranus and Taurus. This is a very positive, supportive aspect. Mars is really strong in Capricorn, and trines are of the nature of Jupiter, so they're very supportive and filled with opportunity. Although we might miss it if we don't take action during the time that it's happening, because it's not necessarily that things come to you or just happen. It's more like the positive energy is available to you to do something with it. So Mars is a planet about action, motivation, energy, and Uranus is the planet of change, innovation, and freedom. So this might be a time where you are inspired to do something different, and get results from that. It's likely that if you do something innovative this week, that it'll be positive, it'll be successful, it'll be met with welcoming arms, so to speak. In general, you might just feel motivated to change something, right? Uranus is about change, Mars is motivation, and really it's a time of breakthroughs and breaking through a barrier of some kind, or really wanting to have done something different but not having had the motivation before. Now it's suddenly there. So very positive energy that we will feel for the first half of the week. On Friday the 11th, Mercury makes its third and final conjunction with Pluto. Thank goodness. Mercury has kind of been conjunct with Pluto since January 27th, right? So Mercury was in Aquarius, stationed retrograde around 10 degrees of Aquarius. And as soon as it entered back into Capricorn, it was conjoined. It was within 3 degrees of Pluto. So we've been in this kind of Plutonian mercurial energy since January 27th, which means we have been having intense conversations, deep conversations, cathartic conversations, perhaps even like surprise or cathartic messages coming through, or information that was hidden before being revealed or unveiled or unearthed in some way. Pluto is a planet that wants to reveal things, that wants to unearth. It's a planet that indicates secrecy and wanting to uncover what was perhaps secret or kept hidden before. And so, it might have been a bit tense, frustrating, challenging, difficult the past couple of weeks with this aspect. But ultimately, the planets are here to help us and to help us evolve. And, it's oftentimes a good thing when something gets revealed or unearthed, or when you finally have that kind of intense conversation, and it can be a sigh of relief. So the first time that Mercury was conjoined with Pluto was back in December. It was December 30th, and Venus was there. So it's likely that that conversation around that time period might have had to do with relationships or connections or friendships or something like that. And it's kind of part of the same story. So whatever, kind of think back to that time, December 30th, whatever was happening around then, whatever conversations you were having might have been brought back up when Mercury conjoined with Pluto for the second time, this time retrograde. So that exact conjunction was January 30th. And you might want to look back in your calendar, your notes, your planner, your phone, your photos, etc., and just kind of take note what was happening, what conversations were happening around January 30th. And once again, you can even look back to January 27th, which is when Mercury entered back into Capricorn, and you would have felt that intense energy then as well. So what's been uncovered? What's been talked about? What were the conversations you were having? So Friday the 11th is the third and final conjunction with Mercury and Pluto. Mercury is moving in a direct motion. So this is really a wrapping up of these deeper conversations that have been underway really since December 30th. So with this third conjunction, it could be that something came to light finally, some last missing piece of information. The intense conversations that might have been happening, there might be one more thing to be uncovered, or one more thing that was unspoken previously that you finally have the courage to say. Speaking your truth, getting to the bottom of what you think and feel and conveying that to another person, getting to the root of something. That's really Pluto's job. So might be kind of intense, once again, cathartic, deep, definitely deep. If it hasn't, been relational, you might just really be researching something, wanting to figure something out, wanting to get to the bottom of something, wanting to find out a truth, so to speak. So that is Friday the 11th. Monday the 14th is when Mercury heads back into Aquarius. Again, it's still in its shadow period, meaning that Mercury is still in the territory that it just retrograded through. So it was last here. It was last at, like 0-ish degrees of Aquarius around January 25th, I believe. So, you might look back to that time, see what was happening, see if anything is kind of coming up again. Just kind of want to recap on the Mercury retrograde cycle. Mercury stationed retrograde at 10 degrees Aquarius on January 14th. It was approaching a conjunction with Saturn, but then it stopped and then stationed retrograde to move back. So around January 14th, what was happening? I know this is like a lot of like reviewing like what was happening on this date, but it really is important and will help you to make sense of these transits. So around January 14th, Mercury in Aquarius was approaching a conjunction with Saturn. Saturn can represent something overwhelming, kind of an obstacle, some hard work, something that feels overwhelming, or like oh gosh, I have to like climb this huge mountain. I'm so tired, right? So what was that obstacle? What felt overwhelming around January 14th? And Mercury's re-entry into Aquarius is kind of maybe bringing back up that situation, and hopefully there's a new route forward. There's a way around the mountain, or a way to get through the obstacle, or perhaps a new plan hashed to make sure that you're able to take care of yourself properly while still taking on this like big challenge or big task. So yeah, Monday the 14th, Mercury heads back into Aquarius, and just kind of thinking about this new plan, or if you can create a new plan to overcome this big challenge, because now Mercury is back in the same sign as Saturn. So that is going to come up again. So Wednesday the 16th, we have a full moon in Leo at 28 degrees of Leo. At the same time, Mars and Venus are conjoining in Capricorn at 16 degrees of Capricorn. So Wednesday the 16th, big day. Full moons are always about illuminating something, right? The moon is coming to its full light. So that means that something that might have been dark before, right? A new moon is when the moon's light is dark. It's not there, right? A full moon is when the moon is full. Its light is full. So there might be something being illuminated in your Leo house. So if you know your houses and you know your birth chart, look to see which house has Leo on the cusp, and those house topics, there might be something that comes to light around those topics. Leo is really about knowing that it's important. Leo knows it's important. Leo needs to be seen and recognized and validated. So, in general, this full moon, maybe something needs expression. Maybe something in you needs to be seen and recognized and validated. And maybe, this is a great time for words of affirmation for yourself and others around you. But whatever house is being illuminated with this Leo full moon, that needs full expression and your full attention. Leo needs attention. So, and at the same time, Mars and Venus are conjoining. So this is quite the conjunction. Mars, once again, very strong in Capricorn, and Venus has been in the Capricorn since November, right? Because she is still in her, she's not retrograde, but she's in her shadow moving forwards again. So these are the two lovebirds of the zodiac. Mars and Venus indicate relationship. It's kind of the cosmic dance between me and we. Mars is about me, it's about the self, it's about independence, and Venus is about we. It's about relationships and coming together and working together, collaborating. So, this means that relationship energy is really firing up. Get ready for increased sex drive, amped up passion, resolution in conflicts, being motivated by romance, intense feelings of love. There's Mars represents a need for independence as well. So there might, you might recognize an increased need for independence in relationships, a need to, maybe work on codependence, focusing on differentiation, which kind of recognizes the fact that, hey, I'm an individual and you're an individual. So how do we get our individual needs met and remain as autonomous beings while also being in this relationship or being in relation to one another? It doesn't have to be a romantic or sexual relationship. Mars and Venus, they're going to be conjoined for the next 6 weeks. It's kind of gnarly how they're going to be literally right next to each other for up until March 21st. It's kind of crazy, honestly. It'll be really, really interesting to see how that plays out. So, this is going to amplify these themes that I just mentioned, relationship energy really being highlighted even more so. I know it's been kind of a crazy whirlwind of relationship energy with Venus as a retrograde conjoined to Pluto. So, it doesn't, and also it doesn't have to be relationships. It just often is with Venus. It could be, you finally have the drive and the motivation and the passion, Mars, to assert your values, to really put your values in action. Venus is values. It could be that you finally have the motivation and energy, Mars, to make money in the way that you have always wanted to. Venus is money, things of value. It could be, Mars's can be a little bit edgy. Venus can be about how you attract and fashion and style and beauty. So maybe you finally have the courage, Mars, to, wear something kind of more edgy or something out of your comfort zone or something you've been a little too scared to do, or you've wanted to express yourself in a particular way, and you just haven't had the courage to do so because maybe you were scared of what other people would think. So this, Mars brings courage and independence, and but Venus still keeps things sweet and connected. So that is Wednesday the 16th is when they is when Venus and Mars conjoin exactly, but really we've been feeling this buildup of these two planets since February 5th. So you might have noticed this, a couple days before, basically, because Mars was within 3 degrees of Venus. Okay, so Thursday the 17th, Jupiter in Pisces makes a sextile to Uranus and Taurus. This is very, very, very positive energy. There might be a sense of expansiveness, freedom, a sense of adventure, confidence, a need to break free from restraints, to follow an ideal or a belief, to be innovative, to just go after something and trust that a higher source is going to guide you. It's really positive, and I would say, it's a good day, a good time to take a risk, take a chance, go after something, follow a dream. So that's Thursday the 17th. Finally, Friday the 18th, the sun heads into the sign of Pisces. So we are heading into the final sign of winter, Pisces. It's a mutable sign and indicates the wrapping up of a season. And Pisces is a water sign. Water signs have to do with emotion, compassion, sensitivity. Pisces is a sign about compassion and but kind of like compassion for the world at large and needing to follow some things that feel good. It's a sign very much so based on feeling and inspiration. It's a Jupiter ruled sign. Pisces is really about kind of going with the flow, and the sun is heading into Pisces. So whatever house in your chart that has Pisces on the cusp, this is starting to be highlighted and emphasized even more, right? We had Jupiter just move into Pisces in December of 2021, and Neptune's already in Pisces. So that part of your chart is already being highlighted in a certain way, right? Jupiter has been bringing some good fortune, some good luck, some benevolence into this part of your chart because Jupiter rules the sign of Pisces, and Jupiter is the greater benefic. It's a very positive planet full of opportunities. So now that the sun is heading into Pisces as well, it's going to eventually conjoin Jupiter and Neptune. But the sun brings its light. The sun brings its awareness. The sun brings illumination. So more of those Piscean themes and those kind of good things that Jupiter is bringing will be experienced, highlighted, brought more into your conscious awareness, brought more into your physical life. So yeah, the sun will be in Pisces for the next however many days, 28 days or something like that. And eventually, Mercury, Venus will head into Pisces, and really the Pisces part of your chart is going to be very active, I would say, from this point, February 18th, really through April, when Venus is in Pisces, the sign of her exaltation. So expect a lot of action in your Pisces house and a lot of good things to come to you. And starting with when the sun enters Pisces on Friday the 18th. So, all right, that is the astrology for the next 2 weeks. Once again, I'm running that discount, 14% off for if you book a reading in the month of February. Once again, my website is lauragodenick.com, and you can book a reading, go to the tab, book your reading, and you can see what my offerings are. And please comment in the comment box if you have any questions or comments. And I hope you have a really, really wonderful next 2 weeks, and I will be back in 2 weeks for another astrological update.